Hey everybody, this is Elizabeth from Silvernest Homeschooling, Mama 4. Been homeschooling for 11 years, and the chaos you see in front of me is not all, but most of the science game options that I have available to me for next year for my upcoming 7th grader and her friends who will be doing a science board game and experiment class with me. So, before you get overwhelmed, we haven't played all these games, and I'll take you through which piles we haven't played. We won't be using all these games, though we can have the option, and unfortunately, you can laugh with me now. This is not all the games there are. This is all the games that I either chose to get out or I haven't lent to other people. We actually have quite a few physics games, and so, but I am going to take you through these piles, give you my opinion on if I should have bought it, what it thought it was going to do, what it really did. So this is that video where you want to kind of get a cup of tea, coffee, sit down, put me on in the background. If you love games and you love your kids and you're trying to figure out how to spend your hard-earned money, we did not get this collection in one day, and some of them have been very useful and some have not. So let's go through and see. And also, yes, I have culled games, gotten rid of games that really didn't work out before. So let's start out with games that I have yet to play and why, and whether I'll be using them next year. So this is my new game that I bought myself, Nerd Words Science, and I bought it for this upcoming year. So that's why we haven't played it yet. And it's team-based, where you're trying to solve clues for all different parts of high school science. So it will be a little learning curve for the 7th grade class. But again, my goal is to introduce them to new concepts before they go into 8th grade biology, chemistry, environmental science, wherever they head off, so that they feel confident and comfortable that they have seen these ideas before. So I'm excited to play this one. I hear it works better in an actual classroom with multiple teams, but we're going to adapt. We'll be okay. All right. The next game that we got that I haven't played yet is Trails. I would say this is a borderline science game because you are going out into explore hiking, and so it does talk a bit about night, day, and water needs as you're going through different places. I like to have some of these more fun, lighthearted, but still nature-themed games around to play, but unfortunately I do have a lot of them. I wanted this for myself, but it does kind of fall into that science category. I played Parks at a friend's house and really liked it and found this on sale. And I haven't played it yet, so I'm not sad I bought it, but I want to play it. All right, The Wild Serengeti. Ooh, this one looks so cool. And it also reminds me of Roar, which we can also pick back up again. It's gone somewhere else, but a friend of mine gave me this year. And it's all the animals, learning, population, all the cute little meeples. And so it's new to us for next year, and that's why we haven't played it yet. All right, One Small Step. This one, my husband and son have played. It's more history than science, but I haven't played it with any of my girls, and I myself haven't played it, so that's why it's on that pile. And it's fascinating. It is a really good homeschool game, but it's also complicated, and I've kind of gotten to the point where I prefer games that are 45 minutes long than the ones that take me a long time to learn. And so we will put it on the list of options for the kids to pick from. Planted. This is a game that my daughter got for Christmas and that we haven't played yet. She's been playing another game that she got instead, but it's super cute, and you're growing plants in your house. I have a few games kind of like this, but this one's is supposed to be done really, really well, and she really does want to play it, but we just haven't got to it yet. So hopefully, not sure we'll play it for science, but it's there. All right, games we definitely will play and have played. Anatomy Flux. Love this game. Globetrotter. This one's fun because you're going through and comparing and contrasting different size cities and populations. The information is probably not as accurate as it used to be, but it's a fascinating little quick 10-15 minute game. Nice to have those for icebreakers. Viral, you're attacking the human body. More complicated, hard to get to the table because of that. I have played it before, just not nearly as often as I thought. And I think if I was to go back with the price tag and everything, especially for kids and learning, I would go with Anatomy, Flux, or Organ Attack. So yeah, I probably wouldn't buy that again. I kind of bought it because I had so many good reviews on it, and it's just a little too complicated for fitting into a homeschool pile. Lovelace and Babbage, I love history and science combo, but this one is actually straight up math, which has been really useful for math. So I will not be using this probably for my science class next year. And while I love the theme and I enjoy the game, my kids have only played this out of protest to learn math, higher concepts of math. This is much more logic, add, subtract, multiply, divide, all the different kinds of math in order for you, negative numbers, positive numbers, to get to a certain goal. And so while I enjoy it, nobody else will play it with me. Einstein and His Amazing Life. Again, this is an abstract game where you're actually just matching shapes. The one positive about this is each of you gets to play a different Einstein in a different time period, and so you get to learn some history about Einstein. I really like it. I even bought the expansion, but again, it's probably not an A1 game for science. And so unless you really like abstract games and you like Einstein, this is probably one to pass on, though it is not complicated and it does not take a long time. All right, Tesla versus Edison. This one is the War of the Currents. There even is a 2-player version of this. I do not have because I'm getting wiser in my older age. But the game is long, complicated, and fantastic. Once we got it to the table, we really enjoyed it. I thought we would play it once after we waited so long to play it and give it away, but my daughter actually really enjoyed it. And I really like the historical characters that are included in this and the time period that it's in. But I would definitely put this in a history pile, not in a science pile. So we will not probably be playing this unless they ask me to. Also, it doesn't have a lot of the player time to the amount of work that it takes. All right, I'm going to go over here to this pile. These are kind of my, call them my nature pile. So just getting comfortable with the fact that science is the world around us. Canopy Evergreen is all about the Pacific Northwest where we live. We got it this last year. The daughter that will be taking the class and I have played it a whole bunch and we really love it. So for sure we will be playing this next year. Alpha, in this case, you are learning about what it's like to live in a pack of wolves and also food depletion and changing. And this has been very successful in our past science class where you're just being a wolf pack and trying to get your wolf pack to survive. So I think it teaches all kinds of great science concepts. Solar Draft is a really fun way to make your own solar system. It is not huge on science, though there is a little bit of science in there, and mostly it's super fun, super fast, and super cute. And it does give some different special abilities depending what kind, so it can sort of help you understand different kinds of planets and not planets. But so I will put this on the science pile, but not on like necessarily, especially since my kids spent that year studying astronomy. They don't need to learn that. She doesn't need to learn that as much. So if she wants to play this for fun, that's fine. They do like it, but I'm not going to put it on like the A1 list. Nature Flux is great. Super fast, super easy, great concepts, drought, all the different things that have to do with science in the nature idea. Very quick, and not everyone in our group can read, so it's easy to play. And just because you have a lot of skill doesn't mean you're going to win. There's a lot of luck involved, and so it can kind of level the playing field if you have kids that struggle with high well, it's great for bad attitudes, but it's also good for learning how to have a good attitude. But it's also for kids that struggle with their high reasoning. It is good for reasoning, but it is like, strategy. Kids are like all about strategy and math. It can help lower the playing field. Coral Reef. I like this one. I've seen people review it and say it doesn't have enough science in it for them. But for a quick game to the table, Genius Games, I really do like their work. But I would agree that it's more of an introduction to things rather than one that would actually teach you science during the game. And if that's what you want, it's beautiful and fun. But it does take multiple plays in order to learn what the different cards do. And so it can be a little difficult if you're only playing once a week and you're introducing a new game each week. This one is Card Line Animals. You're learning which animal is bigger, smaller, what kind of taller, food, that kind of thing. Again, you're guessing. It's a group game. Anybody, any amount of people can play. Super fast. I love this for, again, for like quick game. Hard to find. I apologize. I would buy this one. If you can find it, I would get this one. I wouldn't pay more than $20 for it. I think we bought them for like 15. But I have used it with all the kids through all the time, and I absolutely love it. And I'm sad that it belongs to my library because this one I really would have kept. All right, Herbaceous, again, another plant game like Planted, but it focuses just on herbs and collecting them. And I would say that Planted probably does a better job of explaining the plant life cycle. And we're considering doing a botany unit next year with our Gather Round. So we might use this for that, and we might not. Wingspan is one of my all-time favorite games. My husband and I probably our second most, if not most played game ever. But because of that, my kids actually don't like to play it because they get bored of it. But it's beautiful. It explains a lot about habitats and birds. And I even have the app that makes them sing. So we might play it. But it is a little more complex than it seems on the surface. And that seems to really cause the kids to stray away. And I've had very unsuccessful teaches with it, with even grown-ups. So even though I love it, I don't think unless you're a gaming family that I would recommend Wingspan. Finspan is a completely different set of rules that's come out just recently. And if you like fish, you might look into an online review of Finspan, F-I-N. But I love this game and wish my kids loved it too. What is it? You're creating action rows where things cause more things to happen. And so, yeah, but you're not. Yeah, and you're figuring out what the birds eat. All the cards are accurate. What the birds eat, how many eggs they lay, where they lay, what they live in. So that part of it, if your kid is fascinated by birds, then that can be good. But I would definitely look up how to play first. The fox experiment's great. This one is about an actual experiment done in Russia where they bred foxes to see how many years it took for them to become nice. And so you've got DNA, you've got cute little wooden fox meeples, and while it's slightly complex looking, it's not nearly as complex as some of the other ones, and I love the history combination with it. So I'm definitely going to be playing this with my daughter. I'm not sure if I'll try to play it with all of her friendship group. It is 1 to 4 players. It says 60 minutes on the box, age 14 and up. Just an FYI, 14 and up means that they didn't play test it with children. It doesn't mean that it's not good to play with children. But yes, I love this game, and I'm glad I bought it. I'm not sure it gives enough science for just a family looking straight up for science. I hate to say that, but it's true. All right, Dive is awesome. You're actually looking through layers of see-through cards to try to guess how low sharks and different animals are in the water. And the water is made up of these transparent sheets. And you can even put a little flashlight underneath them and watch them glow. We enjoy this one. Again, it's short, fast, beautiful. And it's added to my ocean theme classes. But because we're showing the games, I think that's why. If you're looking for straight science or why it does what it does, there's nothing included in that. It's just a beautiful, wonderful, sweet game that is super fun and does help with logic because you get points for guessing correctly which layer everything is, as if you're diving through the ocean. Photosynthesis, this was gifted to me. I haven't played it with my kids, but I have played it on my own. You're growing trees, and depending on where the sun hits is which trees grow. So you're trying not to block off other trees and have different kinds of trees grow in your forest. Yes, it's science, and yes, we'll probably play it next year. I'll put it on the list. It's not super long or super complicated. It can be quite mean. Everybody has different color trees. So like one person is this kind of tree, one person is that kind of tree. And so you're actually blocking off other players. And so I think the sun mechanic is interesting for one playthrough. As far as learning the concepts, I don't think you need to play this game a whole bunch to understand the concept. And I'm not sure I would invest in this game outside if it is a fun factor. But again, if you don't like mean games, this is not the game for you guys. I mean, you know, everybody loses and wins, but there's some that are more like, haha, I blocked you, neener, neener. That's what I'm thinking about. All right, this game, if you can find it, I would get. This is one of the best games for teaching the concept, sorry about the shine, of the scientific method. And so, yeah, Zendo, you have a rule and you're building something that matches that rule and something that doesn't, and everyone else is going around trying to match and figure out what the rule is. And so it's that logic of like yes or no. Drop It, I was really excited about because it's for physics and learning and all the different things. It hasn't gone over as well. The ideas are a little more complex for kids than I was expecting. You're trying to get pieces in certain rows and not in others, and match colors and not others. But it is a fun toy. I don't regret getting it, but I probably won't keep it past my homeschool. I much prefer Gravity Superstar. Kids get this one really fast, super fun, good for elementary school and middle school. And you are flying around in space, changing which direction you go and falling based on gravity. And so that idea does, even though you're not physically falling, you're just moving and trying to land over stars, collect these really cute stars. The idea of gravity seems to fit a little better for them, especially when you combine it with something like Gravitrax, which I have spent a lot of money and time and effort on, and we love them. I have 2 boxes this size, and I even have the logic puzzle, and my kids will spend hours building these, and I always try to pull them out towards the end of the school year, and they're just great, and we're going to use them to study physics next year. All right, quickly, going to run out of battery time. All right, so we got Genotype. This is Mendelssohn and Peas, and this is Genius Games, and we are definitely playing this game. We did play it our last time, and I think it's going to be really helpful. Cytosis, we're definitely playing Cytosis. This is building cells in the human body, and it's a worker placement game, and I highly recommend the straight up science that's in here and the simplicity of play with an online video for this. Same with Cellulose, slightly different because it's plants, but again, this is your straight up, gotta learn science while you're actually building things. And we also have Periodic Table, and we also have a couple other Genius games that we will be using.